And welcome back to our Des Moines Import Studios. Des Moines Imports, with the largest selection of import brands under one roof, including Kia, Mitsubishi, Suzuki, and Saab here in Iowa. And they're also located just one block north of I-8035 on Highway 141 in Grimes at DesMoinesImports.com as well. Well, each and every Friday night and Saturday morning, we recognize the AIB Triple Threat Athletes of the Week. And this week on the statewide network, girls side, Heaven Chandler of Columbus Junction. She's posted the top time in the 100, fifth best time in the 200-meter dashes, and has the fourth best time in the 100-meter hurdles in Class 2A. Heaven Chandler, on the girls side, one of our AIB Triple Threat Athletes of the Week. On the boys side, Devin Lemke out of Iowa Falls, Alden. He's posted the second best times in the 200 and the 400-meter dashes in Class 2A, and is also a member of the 4x100 leading relay team in the class. Shoot for three with AIB. Get your bachelor's degree in 3 years, which includes a sports and events management major. And be sure to listen every Friday night and Saturday morning as we unite our AIB Triple Threat Athlete of the Week. Log on to aib.edu for more information. As I alluded to, soccer's about ready to get their postseason. Tennis is already underway. The boys' state qualifiers and the team sub-state pairings are all set. You can go to iowasportsconnection.com for that. Also, the statistical leaders in Iowa high school soccer is listed, as well as Iowa high school girls and boys golf in the postseason. In golf, we'll find out some of the qualifiers on the boys' side later tonight as they played their sectionals today through all the muddy tracks across the state. The girls get going a little bit next week and the week after, and one of the top teams in the state to keep an eye on are the Tigers, and it's not from here in the Des Moines area in West Des Moines. It's the Tigers of Cedar Falls, and they have an outstanding team coming in tonight. And the head coach herself coming in tonight to talk to us is the Cedar Falls Tigers coach, Megan Youngkent. Megan, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having us on air.
You bet. And good to talk a little sports. And boy, hard to say that I can't understand why your team's ranked so high, but when you look at the leaderboard, you dominate. 4 girls ranked in the top 10 in individual scoring leaders in the state, number 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what I call a very balanced lineup.
It is. It's pretty nice as a coach to go into a meet and not know who's going to be your number one golfer, or your number one golfer one meet could be your number 6 golfer another meet, and really be within 3-4 strokes of what they shot the meet before.
Well, we're familiar here in the state with Beth Wagner out of Ankeny, the senior leader right now in Class 4A, individually at 39.83. But, you've got those 4 young ladies, and it's scary if you're looking at the team standings. 3 of them will be back next year. You only have that one senior. That's a solid group to come back. And you're looking at next year already, maybe, but you have a big goal for this year, and that's a state title possibly.
That's right. Yeah, we went. We've been to state the last 2 years, and we finished 7th both years. And the first year, I think, it was my first year as a head coach, and I think we were all just super excited to be at the state tournament. And last year, it left a pretty bad taste in our mouth, and we got 7th place again. So the girls, really spent a good portion of their summer, honing their skills and getting better. So, hopefully we put on a good showing at regionals, and we make it another chance at state tournaments, try to redeem ourselves and move up that ladder a little bit.
Well, your regionals will be in Cedar Rapids. You're going to be playing on the Jones Municipal Golf Course. Tell the folks that are not from the area a little bit about that golf course and how it plays out.
It's a great golf course. I was excited when I saw our pairings and saw that we were there. It's a well-maintained course. The superintendent and the head pro do a great job of making sure that it's a very playable golf course for both men and women. Our girls like it. It's not easy by any means, but it's not one that makes them super nervous before they go. I think it's a great golf course for high school girls to play.
Well, before we talk about your young ladies, let's learn a little bit about yourself. It's our first opportunity here on Friday Night Live or on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network to introduce ourselves to you. Tell us, where did you go to school? Where did you go to college? Did you play any golf? And how did you end up at Cedar Falls as the golf coach?
Sure. I grew up in Clinton, Iowa. I played golf there for 4 years under Paul Niedermeyer. I actually ran into him at a coaching clinic the last couple of years, so that was fun. I came to UNI, thought about playing golf there, talked to the head coaches, and then I ended up becoming the basketball manager of all things, so which was an awesome experience too. Loved it so much that I didn't want to leave Cedar Falls. So I took a job teaching health and PE in Cedar Falls, and was the assistant golf coach for about 10 or 12 years, and then finally got to move over to the head coach spot.
Now, far be it from me to make fun of last names because I have one of those names that people will butcher anyway, but Niedermeyer had been a fun one to be playing golf coach.
It was fun. It was fun.
A lot of everybody remembers that name in some of the movies. Well, let's talk about your young ladies now. Again, 4 posted in the top 10, and so that I don't butcher the first one's name, and that's your senior leader, why don't you go ahead and talk to us about each of those young ladies?
You bet. The senior I'm sure talking about is the same one everybody else has a hard time with, and it's Sonia Probilski. And she has been, every year she gets a little bit better for us, and more importantly, she gets a little bit more consistent. She is by far our most consistent player this year. Always shooting low 40s, sometimes shooting high 30s. We had a meet last night where she shot a 38, and just has really come into her own her senior year. Leads us statistically, and leads us mentally too. She's a kid with a lot of mental toughness. Our other senior is Samantha Heinen. She is one of our other captains. So her and Sonia are our 2 captains this year. And from her, I was looking at stats. Her freshman year, she had a 55 for a stroke average, and so just leaps and bounds, continuing to improve. And Sam's known to be a late season striker, so I think she hasn't played as well as she's wanted to, but in the last 3 seasons, she's really come on in late May, and we're hoping that happens again for her this year.
Well, you know, we're going to get to your underclassmen as well. Let's talk a little bit about preparation for the season because it's had to be difficult. They're probably better equipped to go play in the British Open this year with the wind you've had and maybe somewhere else because of all the rain you had. The tracks haven't been as good as it could have been. We had a couple weeks there where you had some good conditions, but for the most part, it's been pretty windy.
It's been windy, it's been cold, and it's been wet. But welcome to spring golf in Iowa.
Yes.
You know, everybody else in the state's been playing in the same conditions we have, unfortunately. But you know, it's really something where especially the older kids, you just are used to playing in your meets with the weather like this. Yet last year was exceptionally nice, but usually, you know, it's fairly similar to this. We had a meet postponed earlier because it was snowing, so. Last night was probably our nicest night. It was about 65 and sunny and just a little bit of wind, and those days are few and far between here in Iowa.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the rest of this roster that's going to definitely put you with the target on your back. I mean, let's be honest with you. You're ranked #1 by the Iowa Golf Coaches Association, and there's a reason for that. And because of these young ladies ranked in the top 10, talk about your underclassmen. They're going to be a major project for you and a major factor for you to win a state title.
Sure. Taylor Roberts is a junior. She's doing really well for us. She's kind of getting everything figured out as the season progresses. She's starting to be where when we're on the range we can start to make little tiny changes and they make big differences. So she's someone to look out for. Another junior for us is Abby Rollinger. She's our 6th man right now. She goes back and forth between her and Natalie Rokes, who's a sophomore. And she's kind of our wild card. Sometimes she'll come in. We had a Metro meet the other day, and she was tied for medalist on our team with a 41. So she or Natalie will be playing in regionals and hopefully the state tournament. And they do a good job for us, and they give us a little safety net when and if we need that. Our sophomores are Allison Rollinger, who's Abby's sister, and Allison has had our best 18-hole score with a 79 for us this year. So she's doing well. And as a sophomore, she's pretty hard on herself, but I tell her, you're 16 and that's okay, and you've got a lot of growing in a lot of different ways, yet. So that'll be a bright star for us for a while. But does a really, really good job. And our other sophomore that's going to be around for a while for us is Megan Brewer. Megan, really, she came to Out for Golf last year, and her goal was to play in one varsity meet. And I think she played in all of them, if not all but one. And now she's thrown some really low scores in the mix and just a great part of our nucleus for the team this year.
Well, it's a great game. It's a game of honesty, of respect. and teamwork, even though you're playing such an individual sport. So that's great. And I love playing the game. I'm not a good striker. I'm not a good golfer, but I just enjoy the camaraderie and getting out on the course and just getting away from everything and forgetting about things. And golf's one of those games, whether you're good or you're bad, you can take it with you through your life and enjoy it.
Well, that's just it. We're playing something that they're in their prime right now, and hopefully their prime continues. But my grandpa's 90 and loves to golf, so it's also a life skill that they're working on. And my group is just fun to be around. It's great to have good golfers, but when you have good golfers that are also good kids, it doesn't get much better than this.
Well, let me ask you this before we let you go. On the tee box, who's the one that's money with the best ball striker on this group?
It depends on if you're saying distance or accuracy.
Accuracy. I like the accuracy.
You like that?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Sonia Probilski is going to kick it out there pretty far. But I saw Abby Rollinger have probably the best drive I've seen all season when we teed off yesterday. So I guess seniors prevail, and I'll put my money on Sonia. But you never know where the surprises are going to come from.
Okay, you're in the finals, one-stroke lead. You need this putt, otherwise you're going to have a playoff. Who's the young lady you want over the ball on that green?
Oh, wow. Whoever's had the least amount of putts that day. Is that fair?
That's fair. You're a good coach. That's good. Well, Megan, it's been fun talking to you tonight. We wish you the best of luck, and I'm sure your Cedar Falls Tigers will not disappoint you. It's been a great season, and I'm sure they'll continue with the great strides. Whether you win a title or not, it's a great time, and you enjoy that moment with them.
Thank you so much.
All right, Megan Youngkent, UNI grad, the head coach of the Cedar Falls Tiger Girls. We'll come back, and we're going to talk some boys soccer with West Des Moines Valley boys soccer coach Aziz Afar and Central College softball coach in the NCAA Division III tournaments, George Wares, will join us. He might be munching on a meal, but he's going to give us a few minutes. The Hall of Famer, 906 career victories. If he defeats Co tomorrow in the NCAA Division III tournament at noon, hopefully with the weather, it'll be 907. That'll be the all-time best in Division III coaching history in softball. So congratulations. Forewarned, George Wares will definitely break the record. So Friday Night Live will continue. And once again, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau would like to remind you that texting kills. Log on to iagtsb.org. The Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau reminding you that it's thumbs down on texting. Back with more of the Iowa Sports Connection radio show, the Friday Night Live Spring into Summer edition on the Iowa Sports Connection radio and television network across the state on this rainy Friday night.